Hey everyone, I'm Jay.
I'm Colin.
And this is Star Wars Conversations.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. How you doing, Jay?
Yeah, I'm alright, dude.
Oh, man. I am tired, boy.
What's been going on?
Oh, it's been a long week, buddy. Long week.
Been to any nice places?
Actually, have I been anywhere? I don't think I have. I've just been to London a lot this week and all around the place.
It's just the back and forth, is it?
Yeah, we had a lot of we had some bids to write this week, so I had a lot of that and team meeting today. But
Exciting.
On the plus side, we found an awesome cafe that's near the near where we work. So I made everyone go there for Friday lunch.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, that was good.
So it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. £5, mate, in Hackney.
Yeah.
£5, full English and a tea and toast.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's pretty good going.
That is bloody good.
Centre of London, that's damn good, actually.
That's bloody good, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no hipsters in there, buddy.
No.
Apart from me. Dude, anyway, Star Wars, boy. Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's been a bit of news this week, actually, I've noticed.
There's been a couple of things.
Yeah. So, shall we do a bit of around the rim?
Yeah, let's go around the rim.
Around the rim. Ooh.
That's it, that's the intro.
Yeah.
From now on.
Around the rim. Jay, let's start with the first story, shall we, bud?
Mm-hmm.
The first one that you've kindly chucked at me via the power of Facebook Messenger is Star Wars Episode 9 as Jack Thorne as the writer.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more, my friend. I've not read the story.
Okay, so this news came from the Hollywood Reporter, which is very reputable. And so they've added this guy, Jack Thorne. Now, I don't know any of his work, right? Apparently he did some work on the Harry Potter movies, The Cursed Child.
Did he? What? That's a play.
Oh, it's a play? Okay, so he's worked on that. I don't know about Harry Potter, man. I hate it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a wizard, Harry. And also, that Cursed Child was bloody good.
Okay. All right, well, that's a good thing. So, yeah, he's done a lot of BBC TV shows and stuff like that. I looked at...
what does BBC stand for? But...
Go on.
No, I was going to make a joke.
Listen.
No, I was going to make a joke.
You can't stop there. You've got to, carry on.
No, I can't get rude. All right.
Well, people like rudeness.
Someone told me a riddle today. Do you want to hear it?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. What's long and hard and has cum in it?
I don't know.
A cucumber.
Yeah, Colin's tired.
You might want to cut that one out.
No, I'm leaving it in.
Okay. Anyway.
So this guy, he's done a lot of work on TV shows. He's done a few plays, like staged adaptations. He's done the Harry Potter one, and one that's called Electric Dreams. It's an anthology series. I looked through his stuff.
That used to be a video series.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God. I looked at a list of his work, and I don't think I've really watched any of it. That doesn't mean he's a bad writer. I don't know anything about the guy, but a few people were sort of like a bit worried about it. I've seen comments and stuff on the group. Daniel Hackett had put a bit of a...
Oh, Dan, he's worried, is he?
Now, here's the thing. So with Episode 9, supposedly, Rian Johnson had written a plot for it. Like, he'd worked with Colin Trevorrow. Trevorrow, that's a
holiday thing.
He worked with Colin Trevorrow, and he'd written a plot for Episode 9. So obviously, it's, to help him with it sort of continuing on from whatever is going to happen in Episode 8. and then from there, Colin Trevorrow has written a script in conjunction. I can't remember who with someone else, and now they've got this guy in. Now it doesn't say if it's a complete rewrite or anything like that. It could just be a bit of dialogue or something like that. I think it is quite a big part of the rewrite. But the thing is, most movies go through lots of rewrites before they go into production. Episode 9 hasn't gone into production. So I don't think this is anything to be concerned about. I think that they have an idea of the direction they want to go in, and maybe there's some changes made to certain things. Obviously, we had Carrie Fisher die, so that could probably have made a change to what was originally meant to happen in 9. And I think that they just, they look over things and go over it. They bring in other people to write things. Sometimes you'll get a writer in, and they won't even use any of their work. I think that the difference is that Star Wars is a big property, and at the moment, because of things that happened with Rogue One and with the Han Solo movie, people kind of like scrutinizing it a little bit and really thinking about, why are they having another writer brought on board and stuff like that. But it's something you said the other week. Nowadays, with the internet, we find stuff out which in the olden days we wouldn't know about this, So
and we'd be happier not knowing, probably.
Probably, yeah. I don't think there's anything to be concerned about, as long as he's, good, and they've obviously looked in. They want a bit of whatever his skills are involved. I'm not really concerned about this at all.
Well, as you were saying earlier, I mean, just because Ryan and Colin were plotting out a thing doesn't mean it was a final written story. So he could just be actually writing the story based on the plot that they plotted out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't necessarily mean he's rewriting their ideas. He could just be fleshing it out into an actual script.
Exactly. And that's what they do a lot of the time. They bring more people in to flesh things out and, just edit things. And there's so many different levels of writing that go into, especially on big movies like this. They want to get it right, which is a good thing. To me, this is like, okay, we're going to keep working to try and make this the best possible version we can.
I mean, I heard that he was a big fan of Star Wars Conversations, and he had some brilliant ideas and thought he'd just write them up. Because that's part of the process.
Oh, right. Okay. So
listen to our brilliant theory.
That he was,
he had a wicked fist of theory, and he thought, oi, let's tap that bad boy.
I'm going to nick that. Yeah, I'll just say it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something along those lines out there on the Galactic News.
Old chatty Kathy, she's telling me.
Oh yeah, is it her that told you that?
Yeah, chatty Kathy.
Okay. So what do you think of this? Or is this anything that concerns you in any way, or?
Well, to be honest, I ain't even thinking about episode 9 yet.
No,
really.
No.
Because I just want to hope bloody episode 8's good.
Right?
Yeah. I think they should worry about Han Solo first, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
that's a nice little segue then into the next bit.
Yeah. Exactly. I planned that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Because the next bit of news, as you quite rightly hinted at there, Jay, my friend, was Ron Howard talks Han Solo. Now, that is a very vague headline, Jay. Would you like to tell me a little bit more about that?
Actually, I didn't give you the full headline because I wanted to keep a little surprise there for you. But this also came from the Hollywood Reporter as well. And,
a trustworthy source.
A very trustworthy source. But, yeah, I mean...
Like HP source.
Just like HP source.
That's very trustworthy to enhance my Friday fry-up.
Well, then you must have had some today. So this is... look, he's just saying a lot of things that you'd expect, but, it's good to hear. He's like, I'm new to the project. It's coming along great. They put a good crew in there, good actors. It's funny. They love being part of this and all that kind of stuff. So all the good things that we love to hear that you would expect to hear anyway. But it's still good to hear that coming from him. And, he seems to be fully on board with it. I'm guessing they've probably rewritten a lot of this as well. But then the next bit that was the interesting bit that you might like is that he talked about. He said he's having a fantastic experience, and someone asked him,
look, before you go any further, Jay, I am over the moon that he's having a fantastic experience.
Good.
Yeah.
But then somebody asked him, please tell me you have a role for Clint.
Clint! Oh!
And Ron Howard said, you won't be disappointed. So it sounds like...
is awesome news.
It sounds like he's created a role for his
little Clint brother. Playing Marcella.
Marla. Well, I mean, he would have got a bit of experience when he worked with Gentle Ben.
Yes, so, that's what I'm thinking. He likes big hairy things.
Yeah, so so it looks like Clint Howard is going to be in the Han Solo movie.
I tell you what, that film has just gone up massively in my expectations.
Also, he shared a photo
with Wicket
of a new R2 unit.
Oh, the yellow one.
Yeah, it's orange and white.
Did it have a bad motivator?
Probably. He just hashtagged it Untitled Han Solo movie as well, so obviously they haven't come up with a title for it yet.
Oh.
So there you go.
God, why don't they come up with a bloody title for it? Why have they got names for it by now?
I expect that they have. They just haven't told us it yet.
But why not?
Because that's part of the surprise that they get to announce at some kind of convention or, whatever. Or they release it on a certain day.
There's nothing big between now and May, is there?
Well,
apart from Christmas.
Well, you've got episode 8.
Yeah, I know.
So they want all the focus to be on episode 8 at the moment before they start going into their next movie. So what will happen is episode 8 will have its time, and then once that's gone, they'll go, and the title for the Han Solo movie is this, and then there'll be some toys coming out and all that kind of jazz, I reckon. Or they'll release the title just before episode 8, just to get the Star Wars buzz going again just before that goes into the cinema.
I actually know what the title is.
Okay, go on.
Han Solo, Lumpy's Big Adventure.
Yeah, maybe. And you can take that to the bank.
Yeah. Or the other working title I had was National Lampoon's Wookiee Vacation.
It could happen. It could happen, especially if you have got into Kathleen's ear. Then.
Well, to be fair, I've got connections with Clint.
Oh, right. Well, there you go. And he speaks to Ron, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so anyway, look, that was all the news that I've put on from around the rim this week. There wasn't anything that I found particularly exciting, to be honest, and those were the most interesting ones. I was just going to say, there was that I saw, but I didn't read anything about it, but I saw it and it sparked my interest. Go on.
Was that there's been a lot of talk about Leia again. I know we talked about it last week in my part of my top 5 was that I hope they gave a good send-off. And now everyone this week seems to be talking about it.
Well, that's because they listen to the show.
I reckon. They don't watch it, though.
John Boyega said that they do give her a pretty special send-off in episode 8. And they did sort of drop a little mini spoiler for it as well.
Did they?
Well, it could be considered one. They just said that she's still alive out there in the galaxy.
Yeah, so I watched the Nerdist video about it, and they were saying that they reckon that's probably... They gave, 3 scenarios. One, that she dies and becomes a Force ghost, because apparently John Boyega said something around she'll be there forever kind of thing. She's going to be around forever. So they said either she will become a Force ghost, which they didn't think so. She was going to get put in carbonite, which they didn't think so. That would be amazing. Or that she goes off somewhere to help another world far away, but then her story might get picked up in another media. So we don't have to see her again in the films. Yeah. So we don't have to worry about the Carrie Fisher element. But they could pick it up in a cartoon or in a comic.
Quite likely.
I think that's highly likely.
Yeah.
that her story will continue in a different media.
Mm-hmm.
What media that is, I don't know.
Probably books.
Books, comics.
All of those. Actually, all of them, because they want you to spend money. It'll be a book that goes to be continued in this cartoon, which goes to be continued in this run of Marvel comics that are going to go on for 20 years and cost £6 a go.
Yay.
I just think.
Yay. I was chatting to some lovely bloke called Tom the other day. He was on a Facebook group on the, I'll give it a shout out, it's called LSCC and Beyond, and it's a Facebook group for geeks and fans that go to the London comic conventions and the MCMs and all those sort of things. And this new fellow on it, he's a bit of a Star Wars fan, and so I obviously started talking to me, and he was asking me a million questions about Star Wars comics, and unfortunately I didn't know half the answers because I'm not really an expert, and he was going, how many different covers were for this issue, and no.
Dude, you just made it up.
Dude. Well, I don't like to lead the people down the wrong evil path.
30, you should try and get all of them.
Yeah. So, anyway, long story short,
What?
I forgot what the point was. What was the point?
You're talking to a guy called Tom.
Tom, what was he asking me about comics?
LSCC.
But why was I talking about it?
I don't know. You just sort of like started telling me this story, and
Yeah, I know, because you're talking about Leia and the comics.
yeah. I just said they're going to continue in every kind of media.
Oh. Anyway, there was some reason I was telling you that. But I've forgotten what it is. It's something to do with the Star Wars comics. Oh, balls.
Brilliant.
So, this is podcast gold tonight, my friends.
Really is. Go on.
Yeah. No. Yes. Star Wars comics are good.
The end. So I think that's the end of Around the Rim. But
And I do, because this leads very nicely to our next segment, my friend.
which is
And it's a new segment.
a new one.
Another new one. And it's called Colin's Book Reviews.
Brilliant.
Well, yeah. So, there's been a new Star Wars book out recently, and that is Star Wars Battlefront II Inferno Squad, and it's written by Christy Golden. And it just came out last week, I think on the 25th of July. And I just got the audiobook version, and it's very good.
Awesome.
And also, let me tell you something else, Jay, just before we get into the review.
Okay.
We have a slight issue in the UK here with getting audiobooks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this one is no exception. Very difficult to get hold of. But on my quest for finding it, the Phasma book is available to pre-order on the UK Audible. So I have pre-ordered it.
Excellent.
So that one we definitely can get.
Oh, that's
Why
good.
that one and none of the others, I don't know.
Why not
'Cause
make
I
them
thought-
worldwide available?
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I don't know. Because so far on Audible, the only ones out of the new books that have been in the UK available are Heir to the Jedi, Heir to the Jedi, and the actual direct tie into the films. So the novelizations and that Catalysm. But this and so I thought logically, since this is a time to a game, it might actually be available, which is why I was looking for it. And it wasn't. But the Phasma one
Crazy. So, but with this one, so you finished Inferno Squad, and then
I finished it in 2
I
days.
have it as well. I haven't started it.
Yes,
But I like.
I bought it for you.
I like that the woman who plays the character in the
I
game
like her as
does
well.
does
She's
the
a very
voice.
nice lady.
She does the voice acting for the book,
Jaina
right?
something, blum 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 blum.
Yeah.
Jaina bum bum bum. So look, I've listened to it, pal. What do you want me to do? Shall I just tell you roughly my thoughts? I won't give you any spoilers because I know you want to read it.
Yeah, I just want to get this right first before we go ahead.
Name?
Yeah, I was going to get her name. It's Janina Gavankar.
That's the one. She reads the audiobook.
She does.
Does
she do a good job?
Yeah, and because again, right, these audiobooks are produced by Mark Thompson, and he's the best audiobook guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even though he's not reading it, he obviously producing it. And she actually comes across really good. She does good sort of voices, much better than I thought. And I was also I rewatched some clips of her talking about playing the role, and she was really well into getting into the background. She put a load of effort, because she, I mean, I don't know anything about acting, but I would have thought, being an actor in a game probably isn't something that you take that seriously, but she was well into it, mate. So,
a lot of actors do. I think they just take it as another acting role. I mean, I've recently played a game that had Willem Dafoe and people like that in it, and they were awesome in the game. And
this game's got the bloke from the Dresden Files, Paul Blackthorne. So that's good. So should I tell you a bit about the story? Just give you a rough outline.
A rough outline of it, and then tell us what you thought of it, and maybe like the pacing of it and stuff like that.
So first of all, Jay, the majority of this story is set between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. Which was my first bit of joy. No, it kicks off literally just as the Death Star's about to blow up. It's the end battle of Yavin.
Yeah.
And so this story, the main thrust of this is about introducing the 4 members of Inferno Squad. I mean, that's the purpose of the book, to give backstory to the lead character and introduce you to the rest of the characters. Because I think some of them are either playable or part of a story mode. Right. We'll definitely pick up. So that's the aim of this book. It's not a super long book. Like I said, it was a 10-hour audio book.
Oh, wow. I should be able to get through this one.
Yeah, 10-hour audio book. So it's not a massive one. And with my commuting, that's only 2 days. So that's fine. So it picks off, and it's her name is. Oh, look, I didn't write it down in your names because I listened to it as an audiobook.
Okay.
But the lead character, let's just Ina, I think her name is. Or it's like Jaina, but Ina or something like that.
So Eden Versio.
Eden.
Yeah.
Eden.
Iden.
Iden. Iden. So she is a fully brought up Empire loving person. She was brought up from a planet that's totally Empire loving. Her father, who is a general and becomes an admiral in the story, is a really well respected member of the Empire. He was the guy that brought her planet into the Empire, that kind of thing. So like well respected. Her mother is an artist and does all the propaganda art and stuff like that for the Empire and stuff like that. So absolutely indoctrinated into the Empire. And so she's grown up all her life. Her parents split up, and so she was mostly brought up by her dad, who's this, complete army nut kind of bloke. So you can, to be honest, not a super surprising storyline about her. I would say the one thing is nothing really jumps out, makes her that different. Do you know what I mean? You can imagine what she was going to be like. There's no surprises here. And then so it kicks off. She's a TIE fighter pilot on the Death Star. She's obviously out shooting X-Wings up when the Death Star gets blown up. And so she's left in the middle of space. She manages to crash land on Yavin. And this would be an exciting story bit of her crash landing on Yavin, getting into the rebel base, overtaking some rebels, stealing a ship. It's told in a quick flashback when she's back on the planet.
Maybe you'll get to play that flashback in a game.
In
the story mode, you might get a bit more per story.
Yeah.
One of those
I hope so.
levels.
Bonus level, yeah. A digital download or something. Yeah. So, and she's got a mate called Gideon. See, I remember his name. Gideon
Well
something.
done.
Yeah. And he's really good as well. And anyway, so basically her dad is charged with pulling together this Inferno Squadron. So he picks the 4 of the best and brightest newish people. And so the story just says about how between those 4 they start to come together, how the leader of that group gets chosen, that first couple of mission or so. And then the meat of the story then goes to one mission, basically, where they've got to infiltrate. Now, the group is called the Dreamers. See, remember that?
Wow.
And they are partisans, possibly, and of Sol Guerrera's group.
Okay.
So it's really tied into. There's a lot of reference to Jeddah, to Sol Guerrera,
Of course.
to all those guys. Yeah. So now it's all about them, isn't it?
Yeah.
And apparently there is also some links to the recent Rebel Rising book that was out about Jin.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently some characters from that show up, but obviously I haven't read that, so don't know about that. But the main story is about them infiltrating this group of people that are trying to carry on Saul, so they're like rebel extremists. And I guess the point of that is you can't because the whole point of it is this is about a group of Imperials and seeing everything from the Imperial point of view. I guess you can't have them against normal rebels because then you'd just be on the side of the normal rebels.
Yeah.
So they've got to be extreme. I know you wouldn't. They've got to be extreme rebels for you to actually be on the side. So it's almost like they're the good guys coming in to stop these naughty rebels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the whole story then really is that it's all about this one mission, and then the epilogue of that mission.
Right.
So the good thing is, I'll tell you the good bits about this. Christy Golden, bloody brilliant writer, really good at character. She did the Dark Disciple book as well, which was also had links to the Clone Wars and that, because it was all about what's her face, Ventress. I love that book. That was brilliant. And she's really good at character and stuff like that. And so she's created four good characters, I thought. All 4 of the... I'm interested. I wouldn't say any of them really stood out as obviously a different type of character. Or I think if it wasn't part of a game, this wouldn't be memorable.
Right.
I mean, if this was just a book about
forces already.
So basically, that created as they weren't before the battle,
right?
And then basically, her dad says, "Right, I'm going to create this little team of 4 people.
Right.
There's only 4 people in this squadron, and they are top secret. No one knows.
Ops,
Black Ops kind of thing. So as I was saying, it's that the good bits are that she writes a good character. And to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with the book, to be honest, because one, I thought it would give us more insight to Imperials, and to do that, I'd like to see lots of different missions and it being a bit longer.
Right.
Rather, because it just focuses on one mission, it's almost like their second mission or third. They do 3 missions, I think, altogether, and the first 2 are done really quick, and then the whole book then focuses on this one big mission. Again, the point is to get to know these characters, but because also they go undercover as part of this rebel cell, whatever they're called, the partisan dreamers, they're not even being themselves. So what I was looking forward to, and I think you would like, Jay, is more about being an Imperial and all the Imperial elements, but they're not being Imperials in that bit because they're trying to be part of this.
Because that's what I was actually hoping for from this book, that there'd be an insight.
And I guess the other slight flaw I'm finding with it is I still can't see anyone who's actually in the know of being the Empire and what the Empire's really like. I don't know how they can actually be properly for it, you know? Because the whole point is we know they're naughty and evil, and all the characters that we've seen have got some kind of naughty trait to them.
Yeah, but for some worlds the Empire done good by them. So
I get that. But surely if you're exposed to the things that the Empire does that's bad, like killing a planet of people, right?
Or you might think they were bad guys.
Surely you and I get people indoctrinated, and I mean maybe that is the point. I don't understand, but to me it's a bit. I find it hard to say this is a really good person, and they completely have got no issue with what's going on with the Empire. But I guess that's for other. I'd like to hear other people's view on it. To be honest, whether I'm just being a bit.
Once they've all read it.
Yeah, once they've all read it. I'm sure lots of other people read it, Jay, because you're very slow.
I am very slow at this stuff.
Are your face getting closer? Or
I just perched. I've just sat myself down
okay, fine.
I was actually standing before.
So look, it was a short read. It was an interesting read. It could have been better. I think it suffered. I would probably prefer to have read this book after I played the game.
Right. Okay.
Because, to be honest, I found it hard to connect to the characters.
Right.
I just found them a bit generic. There was nothing about if they weren't going to be in the game, and I just read this as a book,
wouldn't have cared about
Star Wars book, I'd have been like, why have they just told a story about these four?
Right.
Because the idea of Inferno Squad is awesome, but they didn't, because it was like the origin of Inferno Squad, and there's nothing actually that exciting about the origin.
They don't do any Inferno Squad stuff. Really.
Okay. It's not like they had a badass. I was expecting to see this badass team coming, and also I thought there'd be more than 4 people in it. I thought it'd be like,
proper unit. Yeah. So in that case, as a story or as a book, like out of 10, what would you give it?
Yeah, so this is the thing. I mean, it's well written, but what I can just say is I wasn't as jazzed about it as I have been some of the other books. But it could just be I'm knackered. I don't know. So, it's difficult because we didn't know these characters before, so we've got no connection to them. And it's not a very long book. So, I would say 7 out of 10.
Oh, that's decent.
There's nothing wrong with it. And I'm sure, once I get to know the characters a bit more and I've played the game and stuff, I probably will enjoy it more.
That's a good score. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start that soon.
What I will say is there's a lot of connections to, obviously, Rogue One, because they talk a lot about Jeddah and Sol and his group. There's also connections to Clone Wars cartoon.
Okay.
So, and again, even though there's a bit of a reveal in it towards the end, there's a bit of a mystery about who somebody is, and even though I couldn't guess exactly who it was because my memory's not good enough, I had a feeling where that person was coming from. So I could guess roughly what type of person it was going to be. I just couldn't remember the actual person. So it wasn't a surprise, but I guess what I did like is that Christie has really woven it into the actual tapestry of Star Wars. Right. She's done a good job of tying it to everything that's already happening. So again, she's a really good writer. So, if you just take it as here's a little story about a group of Imperials infiltrating a cell of naughty people. Yeah, but to me, it could have been like a little short story. I'd rather see an anthology book or something, with more adventures or something.
Okay. Well,
but they might do that
more after the game.
Yeah, or during the game and
probably
just
a comic or something.
Yeah, a comic or something.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh. So sorry, I'm not as super enthusiastic. It's a hard one to tell, Jay. I'll be honest. I'd like to. Once you've read it, let's have a proper chat about it.
We will. When I've read it in about 6 months.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll talk about Thorne as well.
Yeah, I'm almost finished that.
Yeah.
Almost.
See, it's a very different book than Thorne, you see.
Right. Well,
because I couldn't help but compare it because Thorne was quite good and you actually cared about him and what's going on and found it interesting. And that was more about the Imperials and how that all worked.
Mm. And, that was.
And I guess also, so was Lost Star. And I think that's probably the issue. Recently I've read the Thorne book, which is about him going through the Imperial Academy and becoming an Imperial.
And Price as well.
Yeah, and Price. And I've read the Lost Stars book, which is all about people coming through the Imperial Academy and Battle Yavin and all that stuff. Mm. And now this is more of the same.
Right.
Yeah. Like Star Wars is like bloody buses, mate. They get an idea and 3 of them come along at once.
Yeah, they keep using the same stuff when you in every type of media. Yeah. I have started seeing that since they've made everything canon.
Because everything's... we've introduced something new. Let's tie every bloody thing to it.
Grey Jedis.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, let's face it. How many times are they going to talk about Jeddah now? This is something that's never been mentioned. I mean, they talk about Scarif, they talk about Jeddah.
They're now the most important places, yeah.
We've never heard of these before. You know what I mean? Oh, man.
I don't know.
Next thing they'll be doing is turning Doctor Who into a woman.
Imagine. Right, anyway, I think that's the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
So, Colin, where can the lovely people find us?
Well, mate, obviously, we've got this fantastic podcast that you're listening to now in your ears, and you'll probably listen to that either on our direct feed on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you get your bloody podcast from, and the Star Wars Conversations. But also... you can listen to us on the Taylor Network of Podcasts, which is another amazing podcast feed, again available on all those different places that you can get podcasts. And that is a feed with all different podcasts from lots of geeky different perspectives and stories and stuff. And it includes things like Gotham by Geek, which is a Batman podcast, Sunday Comics, which is an amazing interview. Daryl's been getting some really good guests on it. He just did a Howard Chaykin interview, and he's one controversial fella. So
excellent.
It's really brilliant. Listen to it. It's so stuff he says. It's wicked. Another great comic creator interviewing podcast is called Double Page Spread by Wendy, and that's really good. But if comics isn't your thing, then there's Nothing's On, which is all TV and films. There's Magnum Cast, if you particularly love Magnum. There's Paladin Shift, which is a D&D thing. There's Go Trek Yourself, which is obviously that brilliant Star Trek one. So there's loads of different things on there. Just general chatting, like Culture Trapping or No Apologies, where they talk about geeky stuff. Loads of good stuff, dude. So there's that. And then... if you really want a special bonus and you've really enjoyed this podcast, then check out the YouTube channel, because we've got basically the recording of this brilliant podcast on there. So it's just us, how we record it, our lovely faces. Yeah, get to see the faces I'm pulling when I'm trying to make good comments, and sometimes Jay puts in little extra special bits. So do that.
And you can also find us on Facebook at Star Wars Conversations. That's the group where this all started, and there's also a like page, so please go over and like that. If you're watching the YouTube video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Mm-hmm. And you can find us on Twitter. You can find Colin at
Captain Colin,
and you can find me at Eagle Eye 1933.
And we've also got the at Star Wars Convo hashtag and handle on Instagram. And on the podcast, you can subscribe. You can also review, which would be nice. I'll get a few reviews. That'd be lovely. But the key thing is, matey boys, this is a conversation. And a conversation is better when people talk to us. Mm-hmm. So talk to us. Send us tweets. leave message on the Facebooks, leave messages on the old messagey bits, whatever you're listening or watching us on. Talk to us, guys. We want to know what you think.
That's right. So, join the conversation.
Join it, man.
So anyway, that's it for us for this week. And until next time,
Punch and Chewie.
May the Force be with you.
Yay.
Inferno Squad.